Hello.
Hi.
Hi guys, I'm Rachel and I'm a Superstar Director out of Ohio. And I'm here to talk to you guys about developing leaders. And I don't mean basic leadership, I'm talking about becoming and building the kind of leaders who change the culture, who set the pace, who people want to follow, not because they have to, but because they're inspired to. For those who don't know me, I've been with Cincy for almost 10 years. I've earned annual mentor 7 times, and during COVID, our Cincy family grew to over 50 directors. Wow. I'm not sharing that to brag, but to show you and tell you that what I'm talking about today is what I've lived and done again and again. Something else about me. My sponsor quit 3 weeks after I joined. I could have let it hold me back. I could have used it as an excuse, but instead I turned it into motivation and set out to create a community and a family that people want to be a part of. I learned fast that I didn't have to come from a great leader to be a great leader. It was up to me to decide what my future here looked like. So if this is your story, my advice is to create the community you never had. Create something that people don't want to leave. But let's be real, this is a numbers game. You're not going to promote a director sponsoring 2 team members a year. You have got to sell to find the teamies, and you have got to sponsor to find the leaders. Once you get them in, next comes identifying the ones who want it. A lot of people are going to say that they do. It's not enough to just hear somebody say that they want to grow. As leaders, we have to identify the people who say they want it and show it through action. Look for the ones who are already stepping up, showing initiative, hungry to learn, and not afraid of the work. When you see that spark, that's when it's time to take them deeper. I like to group those people into what I call microgroups. Tight-knit circles of consultants who are all dreaming of more. Every spring, we host a version of this that we call the Next Generation Director Chat. It's a small, focused group of those rising leaders who are serious about earning their next title. Inside those rooms, something shifts. They build relationships, they lock arms, they hold each other accountable. Because when you're surrounded by people with the same big goal, you rise faster and stronger. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a big football fan. Whether it's Sunday with the Bengals or Thursday night practice with my boys, football season is my favorite time of year. And as I was prepping this talk, I started jotting down the traits of a strong business leader. And as I did that, I realized they're the exact same traits you see in a great quarterback. Great quarterbacks don't just sit on the sidelines shouting plays. They step onto the field, they call the shots, they take the hits, and they take responsibility for the win or the loss, just like in your business. Like a great quarterback, a great director is constantly learning and driven to be the best that they can be for their team. If you want to develop leaders, then lead. You set the tone, you set the pace. If you're sprinting, your team jogs. If you're jogging, your team walks. And if you're walking, your team stops. You have to model what a great Cincy consultant looks like, not just during the big wins, but in everyday moments. Show up, be coachable, respect others, do the hard stuff, and never ask anybody on your team to do something that you're not doing yourself. Be visible, be vocal, be involved. People will not take your advice if they're not already following your example. Every great QB knows leadership starts when nobody's watching. I tell my boys, be the first on the field and the last one off. I'm telling you the same thing. Work the hardest, don't make excuses. Show up even when nobody's clapping. Because leadership isn't given, it's earned. Through sacrifice, through consistency, through effort. One of the biggest lies about leadership is that you get to the top and then you direct everybody from there. That is not real leadership. Real leaders, they're in the trenches, they're selling, they're partying, sponsoring, learning, and growing every day. Great quarterbacks don't just shout the plays, they execute them. And they bring people along for the drive. If you want to develop leaders, give them something worth imitating. Let them see you serve. I'll never forget a story from our own Deb Bowden. She told us once when we were at Summit that she had went to a VIP dinner for a community project when she was deciding on if she wanted to start working with Cincy. When she arrived, she scanned the tables looking for Heidi and Orville. Instead of sitting with other top business leaders, they were standing in the edge of the room in simple aprons. Instead of sitting and talking, they were serving food and cleaning tables, making sure everyone else was taken care of first. That moment showed her that Cincy was where she was meant to be. How can you create that same aha moment for your team, for your future leaders? How can you serve them? Let them see you lead, not just with words, but with action. Let them see you fail and keep going. And when you're really serious about developing others, you stop just calling plays. You start teaching people how to read the field. You don't get jealous of their growth, you invest in it. You give feedback, you coach, you celebrate their wins, just as much as your own. That's how cultures shift. That's how legacies are built. You don't just lead for people. You lead so they can become better leaders themselves. But here's the thing. You have to believe in what you're doing. You have to believe in you and in Cincy. Because if you don't, your team will know. This business changes lives. I know because it changed mine. I'll scream from every rooftop because I know there's someone out there just like me in 2016, waiting for this opportunity. Someone out there is praying for this chance. Someone wants to be home with their babies. Someone needs you. Someone needs this community. Someone is sitting at home without a car, without a phone, waiting for something to give, lost in motherhood. That's all my story. And there is another me out there. You need to find her. You have to save her. So let me leave you with this. Leadership isn't just a title. It's a responsibility. You will not develop leaders if you are not leading. Be the first in and be the last out. Work the hardest, lead from the front. Help push the ones who want it to go to the next level. Be the quarterback, not the critic in the stands. The game is on, your team is watching, and they're waiting for someone to show them how it's done. Go show them. Be the leader, change lives. That's why we're here. Thank you.